Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David.
I'm Gary.
With my twin brother Gary. You get another twin tarot talk here.
Woo, two for one.
Yeah.
Aren't
you lucky?
Day, yeah.
Check the playlist. If I don't put it up the same day, which I will, check the playlist. Any future videos I do with Gary will be in a playlist called Twin Tarot Talk.
Oh dear.
So you can get your Fred and George Weasley fix with tarot readings. Okay, so this one we're going to read on what?
We're going to read on Trump's Black Binder of Secrets.
Yes, the missing binder. So for those who might have missed the news, on the waning days of Trump's administration, Trump wanted a 10-inch binder filled with top secret information brought to the White House so he could declassify a bunch of it. And this binder contained the early stage investigations in the election interference case involving Russia in the 2016 election. He was trying to declassify a bunch of stuff, I guess purportedly to show that this was all a hoax and a witch hunt and stuff like that. Again, this is a lot of the early stuff. It would have failed subpoena requests by the FBI where it got sent back because they hadn't done things properly. It would have had texts between Peter Strzok and God, I'm forgetting the gal's name now that he was in a relationship with, who were actively investigating him. It would have court orders about looking into surveillance of Trump campaign workers who are also acting as agents for other countries and things along those lines. It did make it to the White House. It made it to Mark Meadows' possession. Mark Meadows was keeping it in a safe and kept an eye out on it. Cassidy Hutchinson testified about this binder on the January 6th committee hearing. In one of her testimonies, he was mad at her for not keeping an eye out on the binder by keeping it in her desk. And her response was, "This is top secret information. It doesn't belong in my desk. It belongs in a locked safe. And don't worry about it. It's there. Nobody's been able to get to it." But Mark Meadows was very concerned about people getting access to this binder, and he was keeping it kind of on the down low. Only a few people knew he had it. As the story goes, a few days before the end of the Trump administration, they had redacted copies that Trump and Mark Meadows gave to John Solomon, who was a conservative pundit and writer who was going to scan all these documents and release them and write conservative pieces on them. The Department of Justice contacted him after that redacted binder was given to John Solomon and said they wanted it back because they wanted to make more redactions. They got it back and to make more redactions, but the original unredacted binder was with Mark Meadows. And on January 20th, Mark Meadows is racing to the Department of Justice trying to find out when they can get this updated redacted information to John Solomon so John Solomon can do whatever it is that he was going to do with it. But the binder with the original unredacted documents hasn't been seen since. Cassidy Hutchinson testified that on January 19th, she saw Mark Meadows leave with that binder under his arm. Mark Meadows and his attorneys are denying this. Conspiracy theory much? Okay, so purpose of this reading is we're going to find out what we can find out about this missing document. So do you, your job at the county, do you take county secrets back to the house and leak it to the press?
I don't know how many secrets we have in the county.
Aren't you part of the deep state?
Yeah, we are. Well, we do like twist our waxed mustaches every day and practice our chortles and laughs.
Exactly. That is what evil Republicans do on a daily basis. Okay, so let's look at the anything else you want to add to that intro?
No. I'm sure it was just misplaced.
Yes, it's been misplaced for the last.
Well,
years.
You got to give Mark Meadows credit though, because he understood that nobody gets into Cassidy Hutchinson's drawers, so that's where the best place for those secrets to be.
Hey. It's somebody's daughter we're talking about here. I'm sure he has very good security over her drawers. Okay, so before we even start the reading, you watched the January 6th.
I watched every single minute of that.
Okay. What did you think of Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony?
I thought she was damn credible.
Yeah, wasn't she? And she's 25.
Yeah, she carries her maturity at a lot higher level.
Beyond her years. Oh my God! I have a friend, Chip, who tries to be open-minded about these things, but he really leans heavy into the conservative side of things and kind of the conspiracy side of things. I remember his thought was, okay, about the whole Mar-a-Lago documents case. He goes, if I find out this is a library book thing, I'm going to be upset. But he won't let me talk about it with him after all this information came out, because I guess he found out it's not a library book thing. But when Chip was watching some of the January 6th stuff, I was throwing out to him, it's like, if you don't watch any other testimony, watch hers.
Yeah.
That's the only one you need to watch. If you're not convinced by the time she's done about what she had to say and the credibility of it, nobody else is going to resonate with you at all.
She had nothing to gain by lying. So she's like the most pure person there in the testimony, you know?
And the funny thing is that when she had a Trump lawyer, she was lying under oath, and she got her own lawyer and then had to retract things that she had said in a deposition.
That's right. She was, yes, in some ways it's kind of like Jenna Ellis, where you're kind of trusting the seasoned veterans in the room, you know, in this case Mark Meadows, or the attorneys that were appointed for her. And then you just sort of get that coming to Jesus moment where you realize that, oh, you know what, I could get myself in a whole bunch of trouble by not being forthcoming, and then coming around and saying, okay, this is what I really remember.
Yeah, and also it was kind of, exactly, and the thing that she would even say what was going on, like, oh, the lawyers are telling me it's okay to not remember this thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
nobody really remembers everything, do they? Now?
Yeah, and she's like, but I do remember it. So if I say I don't remember it, I'm lying, and you know that would be perjury, right? Oh, who's going to be able to prove that?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like, yeah, she had morals and ethics, something that seems to be in short supply with those in the Trump orbit.
Slightly absent, right? I don't know how she slipped through the net.
Okay. I always where's my drink? I don't have a drink here. I'm about to say the two words that cause everybody in the room to have to drink. I always thought that Cassidy Hutchinson would probably do really well serving in like Liz Cheney's office, because Liz Cheney also strikes me as somebody who, her social programs and mine do not intersect at all. But she strikes me as a woman of morals and ethics. Yeah. So I think that Cassidy Hutchinson would thrive in a Liz Cheney political office.
Or Kissinger.
Or even Kissinger. Okay, but I don't have to drink if I say Adam Kissinger. All right, so entertainment purposes only. Let's find out the energy that's going on. What can you tell me about this missing binder and the energy around it? Okay, we got the Two of Swords here. What do we want to do with that? Okay, so we've got Two of Swords here. Things are at a crossroads. I noticed that the Two of Swords, the woman is blindfolded. So it's kind of like the documents. We don't know where they went. This reminds me of The Wizard of Oz. Could have gone this way. Or it could be this way. Or it could be both ways. So one person saying Mark Meadows has it, and so we know where it is. And somebody else saying, Mark Meadows saying, I don't have it. I have no idea where it is. And the moon's kind of about the mystery. We don't know. But there is a witness saying they know where they saw it last. The Two of Swords could also be about the redacted copy versus the non-redacted copies. It's I'll have to throw more cards to sort that out. Crossed by that's Cassidy Hutchinson. Crossed by the woman with the means. So the pentacles are about wealth. They're about health, but this could be about values and integrity. She's got valuable information. So some folks are saying, well, we don't know where it went. It's a complete mystery against this woman's sworn testimony saying, oh, I know exactly where it is. I know exactly who had it last. Underneath it all, strong emotions. Cassidy Hutchinson, again, it's interesting because she's kind of a swords type person. When she testifies, there's no emotion in her testimony. There's emotion in that she's passionate about what she's talking about, but her emotions are under control. Mm-hmm. She's very analytical. But in this case, I think these documents went missing, and there's a strong emotional component underneath it. Also, she was a protege of Mark Meadows. Mark Meadows was, he's a seasoned veteran political person, and she was like a senior advisor to him. And she was given, I say special treatment, but she was obviously an up-and-coming rock star in the conservative politics. And she would be looking up to him for guidance, moral, ethical guidance. And the thought that he is breaking the law probably breaks her heart. She does not want to testify against him.
So what does the Ace of Cups mean exactly?
Ace of Cups is about emotions, relationships, and it's a real strong emotion, real strong relationship, a bonding of people. Right. If it's on low energy, it could be sloppy emotions. But think of it as a card for emotional binding. So this would be Cassidy Hutchinson testifying against Mark Meadows. It would kind of like testifying against your favorite uncle or your dad or something along those lines.
Someone you admire.
Somebody you admire. Don't meet your heroes. Meeting your heroes can lead to very disappointing outcomes. Have you met any of your heroes of yours?
I don't think so.
Okay. You haven't been disappointed then. In the past, Knight of Wands. Okay, so Knights are about movement. Wands are about actions. The Knight of Wands is a slow-moving, deliberate type of movement. These documents were slowly gathered over time as part of an investigation. They drove forward the analysis of potential Russian interference. I shouldn't say potential. Of Russian at the time it was potential Russian interference in the 2016 election, and it was gathered over years. I would imagine the reason why they were redacting a bunch of stuff is there's probably intelligence gathering information inside these documents that the government doesn't want out in the general population's knowledge. And it's not that they're worried about Uncle Buki in Alabama from seeing it. They're worried about Uncle Vlad in Russia and his cronies seeing it, because they might be able to glean how the U.S. is gaining intelligence and then take action against it.
It's not necessarily the information that's there. It's how did you get that information?
Exactly. The means. Okay, so this is talking about how this information was gathered and the time it was gathered, the duration it gathered over. All right. Current situation is the Four of Swords. This is about meditation, reflection, taking a step back. In this case, this is about, I think, the mystery of we don't know who has it, or if somebody has it, they're keeping real quiet about it. These documents are hidden, almost like it's in a coffin. Now, if it weren't for the fact that Trump was wanting to release these, I wonder whose coffin it could be hidden in. No idea.
Any relatives he lose?
No, he didn't lose anybody close to him that he would have hidden secret documents in the coffin.
I haven't even heard about that until literally a half an hour ago. So
what? You don't follow the latest conspiracy theories?
Yeah, I gotta dedicate more time to that.
Yeah, Ivana Trump did not have a tattoo of a hand mark on her back, shoving her down the stairs. Oh, God. All right. They want a Trump one is an amazing thing. Okay, so people don't know where it is. These documents have been missing for a while. It's been about 4 years that they've been missing. Maybe we're finally going to have that release. Let's see what the overall energy is. Page of Wands. Okay, so Page of Wands, it's about messaging and going forward with the messaging. It's about new experiences, exploration. So the federal government is still looking for these. They have not stopped looking for these documents. And I believe it was in 2022, if I read the article correctly and I'm remembering correctly, the Senate Intelligence Committee was alerted to the fact that these documents, the original binder, is missing. So you've got, so now it's interesting because you got the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands. You got the Knight of Wands, which is the long gathering, and now you've got this new adventure trying to find where this went because it's missing. It's in hiding. So I think somebody actually, I don't think these documents are destroyed. I think they're hidden.
Maybe in a grave.
Maybe in a grave. Maybe in somebody's coffin.
Yes. Maybe Hoffa. They'll find Hoffa
Next
when
to
they
Hoffa.
find right, exactly. And
Right.
he's the best hide and seek player ever, right?
Nobody's found that man yet.
That's right.
The lesson to be learned in this position is the High Priestess. This is about knowledge, and the High Priestess is about knowledge and secrets. And the difference between the High Priestess and the Moon card is the High Priestess, if you ask her the question, she will give you the answer. So this is about, you have to, somebody knows where this is, and you have to ask this person where it is. This could be like, for example, Cassidy Hutchinson. She knew where she saw it last. You ask her, she'll tell you. If you don't ask her, like in a deposition or in court, she's not going to tell you because you didn't ask. This could also represent the documents, that these documents have answers to questions that people are asking about. But I think, again, if I'm reading this right and interpreting this right, these documents are hidden. People are looking for it, especially the government's looking for it. People know the answers. You have to find the right people to get the answers on this. So I think, yeah, I think they're being hidden, but people, more than one person knows where they're being hidden. So that makes it a conspiracy because obviously two people know about it. The outcome is the World card. That the World card can be about closure. So the outcome is that they find them and close the loop on this. The other outcome is that they may not be hidden in the United States. They might be outside the U.S. So we'll have to ask more questions about this one. On this one, but it's if we make this Cassidy Hutchinson focused, she knows that they're missing and went forward and told what she knew about it. And if that was the case, this could end up closing her out of, her future in the current version of the Republican Party, because in this case, she's not showing herself to be sufficiently loyal in putting party over politics type of thing. So that is a potential issue that she is going to have to face. All right, sorry, pausing quickly. Apparently there's ghosts of small children.
Yes. Did anyone else see a small child walk through the background?
Entertainment purposes only. We don't have small children.
Perhaps he knows where the binder is.
Little kids are kind of clever like that, aren't they?
We'll see if we can channel his spirit back over here and we can ask.
He's just outside Jack's bedroom in the back there, so it could happen any time.
Exactly.
All right. So that's kind of the energy that's around it. I want to read on Cassidy Hutchinson and Mark Meadows.
Okay.
Kind of their with this information being out there, I want to know how Cassidy Hutchinson's feeling about this, and then Mark Meadows, because is he having a dirty shorts moment, as it were? And Cassidy Hutchinson, I would not be surprised if we see the High Priestess come back up again here. Okay. Cards were shuffled. You saw shuffling, overhand shuffling. He's giving me a hard time about the King of Cups on last one.
Let's put this on pause and make sure the High Priestess card comes up.
I would never do such a thing.
I'm here to make sure he doesn't. Because I represent the party of law and order.
Yes, we libtards, we always cheat.
Indeed.
All right. It's the hillbilly drunken bull. What is she thinking about right now? Oh, this thing's a mess. Her life might actually, this whole thing has probably turned her life into a tumultuous event. Again, because she testified on the January 6th committee, and her testimony was very open. It seemed very honest and sincere. She told the truth, and I'm sure Trump world hated her for it. And the Republican Party doesn't support truth tellers. Truth is the enemy of the Republican Party in its current iteration. And I say current iteration, and that's because, to me, MAGA the Republican Party has a knife to the throat of the Republican Party.
It's like the old adage, truth is in the eye of the beholder.
God, yeah. As our alternative facts.
Indeed.
Okay, so we've got that. Okay, so we got the Nine of Wands. Oh, God. Nine of Swords. And the Ten of Cups. Underneath is the Two of Wands. I don't think her testimony's done. What is she thinking about this? Her life, her testimony, the January 6th committee, these missing documents, everything that's going on, has turned her life. It's just chaotic, and it's causing her a lot of anxiety, sleepless nights. She did the right thing, and she's not done yet. There's more testimony they're going to want from her. There's more that the government's there's more interviews to come. There's more subpoenas. There's more things she's going to have to deal with. But, as much of a nightmare as it is and how exhausting it is, it's because she believes in the American dream and the American way of doing things. She wants a better America than what we currently have. And she's doing the right things. This is, and right now, she's planning on what's happening next. She's planning her next moves. If she gets subpoenaed, if this thing comes up and she has to testify, she'll do it. She's not excited by it. It's going to be a nightmare for her. It's going to cause even more chaos. But she believes in doing the right thing. What this is reminding me of... we had to pause it. The little leprechaun.
The child spirit going past.
We didn't want to scare everybody with the child spirit. What this reminds me of are the Vindman brothers. Colonel Alexander Vindman, when he testified about...
was he lieutenant colonel or was he a full colonel?
He was lieutenant colonel, I think. But still, you don't have to get the full title of it. A colonel's a colonel, whether he's a lieutenant or a full bird. Okay. Giving his testimony about the call to Zelensky. And, this is very much the same card, the same vibe. It's like, yeah, I know that my life is going to be chaotic by doing this. This is going to be an absolute nightmare. It could be career ending, and I might have to testify again that this isn't over. But he believes in the American dream and the American way of doing things, and that's what he's going to do. She's in that same, she's cut from the same cloth, and as as a former Republican, now Democrat, these are the type of people you need in your Republican Party. They're ideologues in the way that they're doing. What they think they're doing is in the best interest of the United States and doing the right thing. And sometimes doing the right thing is not the convenient thing.
Yeah, it's generally never the easy way.
And it's unfortunate with a lot of the Republicans that we have now, they don't do the right thing. They're only interested in maintaining power. They won't speak out against Trump or MAGA because they know that they'll get primaried and they won't get elected. And then they don't get to eat from the trough anymore. And they've worked hard to get this gig. It's a plum gig, and they don't want to let it go. So they just duck their head and eat and hope for the best. And unfortunately, with Republican leadership the way it is, and with the extremism on the right, that's not an option. That's not an option that doesn't lead to good results. As they say, all it takes for evil to succeed is for a good man to do nothing.
Yes.
Your thoughts? Sitting there all quiet as I rip on your political party.
That's fine. Well, I guess I'm a rhino.
Yeah. Well, no, you're not. You're a Republican.
Yeah. Technically, MAGA's the rhino. Let's
be honest here. Exactly.
But since MAGA has taken over the Republican Party, I guess I'm a proud rhino.
As opposed to a white rhino?
Yeah, well.
Or blue rhino, like the gas.
Gosh. Just.
What color rhino would you be?
Probably I'm like a charcoal gray,
Gray
almost
rhino.
black rhino.
Okay. All right, so Cassie Hutchinson, she knows that she's got more. Life's not done with her yet as far as this goes. But about Mark Meadows, what is Mark Meadows thinking about this? The High Priestess card didn't come up, no matter how much I tried to set off to the
it out of the
side.
deck.
So you might have noticed, Garf, as I've been doing these readings here, that sometimes when the same card comes up, I link it to that first one.
Yeah.
And this card was coming up like, where are the documents? Nobody knows. Now it has Mark Meadows thinking, I wonder who has the documents. That's where I'm laughing. Nobody knows where they are. I have no idea. I have no idea where in my basement they currently are.
Right.
Sure, the boxes got moved once or twice.
They're in the graveyard somewhere.
Exactly. There could be in a grave somewhere. And he knows what grave. It's the unmarked grave, Tico. Oh, dear.
This is the same card.
Boy, these cards are...
Time.
These cards are coming
Did you
up.
shuffle that deck at all?
Oh, God. Okay, so... So looking at this, generally speaking, the documents are hidden. They're missing and they're hidden. Folks are looking for them. In this case, it took a long time to get the documents, but folks are making progress in finding where these documents are. And you can slow down that progress by being a false friend. You can speed up or slow down this progress by how you play. If you are honest and helpful, these documents will be found quickly. If you're being deceptive, you're going to try and slow things down. The Three of Wands is about waiting for your ship to come in. It's about waiting for something to happen. It also means things overseas. So I still think I think Mark Meadows knows a little bit more than he's letting on. I think he knows where they're hidden. He was probably part of the team that did the hiding. He certainly had a role. He may not have been the person who actually hid them. He might have handed them off to somebody else who hid them, but he knows who that person is, and he could reveal who that person is. I don't think these documents are in the U.S. I think they are outside the U.S. That's twice now I've gotten cards that would represent that, the World card and the Three of Wands. So, or at least they're not on the surface of the soil in the U.S. They could be 6 feet under.
Yeah, how far down does the U.S. soil go before you get to international soil?
International soil.
Is it 25 miles?
I don't know if it's defined.
Well, in theory, then we would own the soil as far down as we could go
into the crust.
It's going to go out the other side of the earth.
I think that's just one of those loopholes that China would look into. They built, fake atolls out there and call it their country out in the middle of international waters. Why not just start drilling underneath the United States?
I can't wait for sea level rise. What's that going to do to their little man-made islands?
It's awful. I saw stories on that. They have to dump a ton of money into those things just to keep them above sea level. No, just to keep them from eroding because they're not natural. So they're constantly fighting that. And then you couple it with sea level rise, it's going to be a whole lot of wasted money for them on that one.
A lot of toothbrushes need to be sold to finance those islands. Yeah, toothbrushes, cheap plastic toys,
fake Rolex watches.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what are you thinking about Mark Meadows? You hopeful for? Would you trade places with him right now?
I think what Meadows is kind of waiting for his get out of jail free card if he's gonna cough up that kind of information. If he has the information, he's waiting for a get out of jail.
Yeah, you might very well be right on that.
Or Trump being elected, right? Reelected.
Yeah. But Trump's the one that wanted this. I guess the question is, what's the advantage for hiding it? Why would you not? Why would you hide this? What's a value to you by doing it? That's kind of the question you have to answer.
Clearly, Trump wanted this stuff released because he could control and make it look favorable if it wasn't, or it could make it look favorable if it was.
Yeah. Control the narrative.
Yeah. The real question is I guess the logical explanation why they want it back is what we were talking earlier was it's not necessarily the information that's there, it's how it was gathered.
So you might think of something. It's a trade. You might think of it as a trading piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So,
he is shuffling these, by the way.
Yeah. Let's see. What more can you tell us? Are these cards? Are these? Is this binder? It's outside the U.S. What can you tell me a little bit more about the situation that this binder's in? This is always a dangerous reading because Lord knows what the cards are going to show me. I think people are still looking for them. They're actively looking for these for this information. It's causing. I think it's causing an. This is like a treasure hunt, not only for the U.S. but for every, especially Russia intelligence agencies are all looking for this because this is a treasure trove of information to get and leverage for foreign policy. So there's a lot of turmoil that's going around the search for this. Three of Swords is a betrayal. So it's a betrayal. It's Three of Swords is a betrayal by somebody you know. 10 of Swords is like an ending. It's a stabbing in the back, but it's people you don't know. So as things are going through this is a betrayal by folks who are in positions of trust. If Russia stole them, it's not a betrayal because Russian agents are not in a position of trust in the U.S. But U.S. officials, if they hid those, that is a betrayal of trust. In the Fool card, I think what this is telling me is that as the search goes on, the U.S. intelligence knows that somebody in the U.S. government was responsible for this. A person in a high level in the U.S. was involved with this, and they're in negotiations trying to get that information, but this person is not cooperating. So the Four of Cups is about offers being accepted or rejected, and by the look on this person's face, they're offering him something he doesn't want. Mm-hmm. No, that's not what I want. You're not offering me a blanket immunity to tell you where it is. 10 years in prison's not good enough. 5 years in prison's not good enough. 3 years in prison's not good enough. I want total immunity type of thing. There's a lot of effort being put to look into this, and the effort is ongoing. And I do think that they're looking beyond U.S. borders on this one. That the search is going to continue. They're going to look until they find it. They're not going to just throw their hands up and say, we don't know where this is. But I think they are trying to negotiate with somebody who's betrayed them and betrayed the country in the search for these documents. Okay, so that's not really telling me where they are. It's just giving me more energy as to the ongoing search for it.
Yeah. I need to pause.
You need to pause? Okay, hang on for a second. We're going to pause. And we're back.
Boy, it just seems like several minutes went by, but clearly not.
Yeah, nothing. It was instantaneous. Okay, so will the U.S. government get these documents back? Will this binder be found and returned to the U.S. government?
It took us a long time to load the deck, so that's why I have to keep pausing.
And then I go and screw around.
I know, and then you pretend shuffle.
Will they get it? Queen of Pentacles, yeah, they're going to get it back. It's something of value, and it's going back to mom. Let's do a 6 card. I'll do a bigger reading on that. Oh, Jesus, they're going to have to pay for it. They're going to have to... It's like they have to pay a ransom to get this back. So if that Four of Cups is about, Mark Meadows potentially having it, there's some negotiation to get the information to get it back. There's Now, I realize for most of you, it would be like, dude, if the dude stole it, he should be thrown in prison. I'm there with you. But right now, from the U.S. point of view, getting that information back is more important than incarcerating somebody. That's kind of how I'm taking this. How does the party of Law and Order feel about that one?
You just assume that it was someone from the party of Law and Order. Could have been one of those, cable-loving...
Sure George Soros must have taken it.
Satanic-worshipping Democrats probably took it.
In the past, we got the Ten of Cups.
That was Cassidy Hutchinson believing in the cause.
Exactly, and yeah, you're right. It's it's kind of doing the right thing, doing the right thing because you believe in your country and believe your country should be doing the right thing. So I'm curious if this really does involve Cassidy Hutchinson.
This might not be a financial. That could be something else. Paying your ransom in other ways too.
Sure.
Making your life a living hell, or some other non-monetary sacrifice.
It could also be just give us the Mar-a-Lago documents. If Trump had just given the documents back, there would have been a minor admonishment.
Yeah.
But we're more interested in getting the documents. So they might play on somebody's patriotism.
Okay.
Or this was somebody who was a patriot, who used to believe in America, and
Tom Brady has it.
Okay. No, it's not Tom Brady.
He used to be a patriot.
That's true. Will they get it back? Yes, they will. They're going to get it back. There's going to have to be a price to be paid to get it for. Jeez. Okay, I'm seeing where this is going. This to me is saying that Mark Meadows has it because, once upon a time, the government asking for those documents back would be the patriotic thing to do. You just didn't take stuff that didn't belong to you. But now we're dealing with the disappointment. I cannot believe that we have to go to this person and negotiate like this when you swore an oath to the Constitution. And, we should never have to do this with people like that. Whoever they get it from is somebody who knew better and should have done better, which is why you had that Three of Swords in the previous reading. It's a betrayal. They get it back, but there's this huge disappointment that they ever had to go to this person in the first place, and this person wasn't honest and forthright with them. This person is holding on to it because they're trying to hold on to their freedom. They grabbed onto this basically as leverage, kind of like an insurance policy to get out of certain troubles that they might find themselves into. And that's why it's a disappointment, because it's not about doing the right thing. It's about doing the right thing for yourself. Mm-hmm. And when you've done the wrong thing. There's a lot of secrecy around this. I don't think... so what I'm taking from this, whoever has the documents did not share the secrets of those documents. The documents remained intact, integral, but they weren't leaked out or shared. That's what I'm going to translate on that one. The outcome is the Seven of Coins. There's going to be so when they get the documents back, there's going to be another evaluation of those documents. They're probably going to look at them again to sort of figure out, reevaluate that data. They're going to look at that data, see if that data did get leaked out, because the person said that didn't. Oh, this is going to be about the government reevaluating how they release documents and who gets them. They're going to have to revise their whole policy on how they release documents and who gets to see them, because who can be trustworthy. In the end, though, the government is successfully gets it back. They are successful in their endeavors. But there's a huge disappointment that somebody in a position of trust would do something like this. I will let you pontificate your thoughts on that while I shuffle the cards.
I have no thoughts.
Don't give me that. You have plenty of thoughts.
I have many thoughts.
Tell me how the George Soros-funded deep state
yes.
hid the documents and then pinned them on Mark Meadows.
You're making my heart just sore. There's just not enough conspiracy theories against Democrats these days, you know?
No.
Ever since Fox News lost that $1 billion lawsuit, I guess it was only $700 million, quite a billion.
Oh God! Are we back to Hugo Chavez again?
Yeah, I mean, ever since then, you know, the Fox has had to like pretend to challenge, you know, the obvious truth telling by Republicans that they're interviewing. So we just need more conspiracy theories.
Yes.
If it's on the internet, people believe it.
Because it's true.
It's true.
If somebody named Q told it to you.
Ah, yes.
All right. So one last question.
Why are you bringing James Bond into this?
That would be him. One last question. Let's ask. I think we have to ask the obvious question here.
Okay, go ahead and ask. But
Okay.
I don't think you're going to get an answer.
I think let's find out if these documents are hidden in Ivana's grave. Did they hide the documents in Ivana's grave? Entertainment purposes only.
Is she in a mausoleum or is she in the ground?
She's in the ground. Do you know about that?
No.
Oh God, they buried her at Bedminster Golf Course.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. Oh,
She's got a little plaque. It's overgrown with weeds. Nothing says "I love my ex-wife."
Yeah.
Like burying her in your golf
you
course.
know, hey, at least you know that Trump's going to go visit her several times a year.
Or something. Okay. This is wildly entertainment purposes only. Oh, we're going to find out the information quickly if it's buried in her grave.
Oh,
Eight of Wands is about fast.
Yes.
Broadcasting messages. They probably had to make when the documents went missing and they were burying her, get ready to bury her, a decision needed to be made quickly if they were going to include the documents in her casket. The King of Wands. Okay, so this is the Department of Justice.
No?
Department of Justice. This is a deep state thing. They're framing Mark Meadows by putting in Ivana Trump's grave. It explains why those guys were struggling so much. There was a 10-inch binder of secret documents in there. Yep, the funeral procession. And, there we go.
Yeah! You must have like about 30 of those in this deck.
Okay. Leaving Ivana alone for a second. With regard to this, we're going to find out information quickly. When they find the documents in their search, or we're going to find out more information about this. We're going to find out about the ongoing investigation. This is going to be information that comes from the Department of Justice. Again, 8 of Cups, somebody leaving. It's like they left the country. We're going to get more information on this as this comes up. I think investigative reporting will stay on top of this. It's still going to be a while before they find it, but we're going to get more information about this story. This could be the DOJ. This could also be Mark Meadows because he's basically the chief of staff for Donald Trump, so he should have control over this. Somebody's leaving, though. Somebody's leaving. This could be information being exposed on this one. We're going to find out. We will find out more about. As much as we joke about it being, it's not Ivana's grave. As much as I want to say it is.
Well, it shows it right there, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. No, we're going to find out more information on this one. This case does not die. We will find out in the end of the day what went on, and probably a little bit about the whodunit. The person who done it probably is going to face some punishment for it. Although again, this could be something that it's not inside the United States. Anyways, we've gone 45 minutes, which is about.
Oh my God, did it again, didn't we?
No, you've wasted another 45 minutes of your life.
We apologize. You'll never get it back.
Anyways, thank you for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for your kind words and your comments and your thumbs ups and your shares and everything you do that supports the channel and helps feed the YouTube algorithm so that my video makes it out to a wider audience. And to folks just discovering this channel for the first time, If this is the first video that you watch, we're really sorry. Didn't warn you that the mayhem was going to be what the mayhem is. But
most importantly, don't drive like my brother.
hey, don't read cards like my brother. Anyways, thank you for supporting my channel. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Take care.